Hi guys, Sarah, a friend of mine, asked me for an English version of my brief summary this morning. So some of the stuff might correlate, some of the stuff might differ. But I had a sermon this morning from Revelations 21, verse 10, and then from verse 22 to chapter 22, verse 7. And I just briefly want to share that with you guys. So the book of Revelations is one that people get scared about because they think it's about the end times and there's a lot of imagery that they don't understand. But actually what John did, and it's revolutionary that he did, he took the Greek mythology and he basically told the gospel using that. So that was quite revolutionary. It's like the first film that was ever made. Okay, but in any case, so the people in Revelation, that the seven communities or the seven churches that John wrote that to, were in a difficult spot because they were prosecuted and persecuted for their faith. So basically, John wrote that to give them encouragement and to enforce that God is with them, God will stay with them. And that's also what we see in Revelations. I think it's appropriate that I'm in our garden um, recording this because that part, especially, relates to Genesis and the Garden of Eden. And you'll see some of the imagery is the same. The tree of life that is used, and in Genesis, the tree is a symbol of the relationship between God and man. And here, that relationship in Revelations has been completed. So God has come to the people, and he has reached out his hand for people so that they can feel encouraged and feel that they are one with God. I think in verse 10 it's also especially true when we see that there's no temple anymore because God is with the people now, and that's very important in this part. I think for the people in those times, living under the Roman Empire and being prosecuted, that was very difficult. So they had a lot of struggles, not being able to uh, integrate into their society because everything was related to uh, uh, idolatry, and you weren't able to take part in the community if that wasn't part of your life. So they were excommunicated, actually. So, in that sense, the message of Revelations relates to people feeling like outsiders, people that can't relate to other people, and people that are scared. And for those people, the important message comes that God is with them. The temple isn't there anymore because God is the temple and God is with them now. And I think in our times, that's a very important message as well because people feel scared. They don't know what the future holds for them, they don't know what is going to happen. I think in that sense, we can relate to those people. And that's a very important message for us today to experience the presence of God, to seek the presence of God, and just to realize that God has already come and completed that for us. So there's nothing that we need to do from our side. God has already done that. We can just seek His face, we can just seek His presence, and that will already help us. And in realizing around us where God is already visible, where God is already present. And that's very important because, in that sense, Revelations isn't written for one day, someday in heaven far away from here, because heaven is right here. Heaven is in our relationships. Heaven is where we experience God. And hopefully, you have an experience of God this week. Have a blessed week. You're welcome to share this if you want to. And once again, a shout out to my friends at Les Mills. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.